guys, it's Sarah, and tomorrow is my first day of school. Kind of. Tomorrow is Saturday, so it's not really a first day of school, but all the students are coming back tomorrow for our back to school celebration, or whatever you want to call it. So while I was getting ready for my classes and setting up my classroom, which you can kind of see a little bit back there, yeah, it's not really all that exciting yet. I still have a full day to get set up. While I was setting all that up, I was thinking about what it means to be a teacher, what it's not to be a teacher, what people think is true about teachers that are actually myths, and shed some light on some myths that people think are myths that might actually be a little bit true. The first thing that people say that really makes me angry is those who can't teach. Now, yes, some people who are teachers are people who went to college to do something else and couldn't make it or weren't able to get into the field that they chose, so they went into teaching. But some of us can actually do a lot more. I have friends who are teachers who did a lot of other things before they became teachers. They were doing field work, and they were accountants, and they were writers, and they chose to be a teacher. They were actually quite successful doing other things, but they chose to teach. Okay, so that's the first one. The second thing that people say about teaching is that the best thing about teaching are the breaks. Not the breaks to your car, like vacations, holidays. The best things about it are holidays. And they're kind of right. That's not really a myth. It's definitely not the best thing about teaching. The best thing about teaching is seeing your kids finally understand something that they haven't understood yet, and you see that light bulb go bling, and it's like the best feeling in the world. The second best thing is building relationships with students. But getting long vacations is definitely one of the top 5, maybe my third favorite thing about teaching. Now, people say that we actually get our breaks, but I've been here all summer. I've been working the entire summer, but it's been really relaxing because there aren't any kids here. I'm not actually teaching, I'm just planning. So it's not really a vacation, but it definitely is. And it's definitely wonderful. The third myth is that teachers know everything about what they're teaching. This is not true at all. I went home yesterday and was talking to Zach about the upcoming semester, and he was looking over his stuff. He's like, yeah, I don't know this stuff. I need to study. We are human. We don't remember everything that we've learned, and we have to study up on certain things because we aren't experts in everything that we teach, so we have to relearn things as well. Another misconception is that what we teach you is actually the truth. Now, okay, it sounds bad, but teachers make stuff up a lot. You can ask us something and we'll just be like, yeah, sure. The reason why this is because of this, and you're like, oh, okay. You might want to fact check people. If a teacher starts floundering and is like, well, let's see, it's probably something like this. They threw probably in there, which means they have no idea what the right answer is. Now, a lot of times I try to be like, oh, well, I don't know. Let me look it up and I'll let you know later. But there are definitely some times when I mess with the kids and I'm like, oh yeah, obviously it's like this. And they write it down. I'm like, guys, seriously, no. Teachers make stuff up all the time. And we aren't really that ashamed of it because it's kind of a little game. Probably not the best teaching strategy, but it's fun. So teachers don't know everything about what they teach. I'm relearning some things that I haven't studied in 10 years because I'm teaching a new course. It's good for me to keep learning. And teachers should keep learning. They should continue to learn and further their education for as long as they teach, and they should continue to study because you shouldn't be teaching something unless you've mastered it. And so we have to master things. We may not know everything about what we teach, but that's why we study it and we plan for it before we teach it. That's why teachers plan a lot. It's the worst part of the job, really. Yeah. Or teachers' meetings might be the worst part of the job, but planning is a close second. Another thing about teaching, this is either number 4 or number 5, I've lost track, so I don't know, is that teachers should not be human. Now, not a lot of people say that, but it's kind of true. We're expected to not be human. We come into school and we teach and we have kids who are wonderful, but then you have students that are not so wonderful, and we're expected to go home and just let all that loose and come in the next day and not remember any of it, give them a clean slate. We're supposed to know what every single student is doing in the room all the time, so we're supposed to have like eyes all over the room. We're also supposed to teach every single student individually. So what I think is that teachers are not supposed to be humans. Teachers are supposed to be either robots or computers or clones. If I could clone myself like 26 times, the world would probably be a terrible place because nobody needs that much Sara in their life. That's a lot of Sara. But it would make teaching maybe a little bit easier because then each and every single student would have individualized plans that could actually be carried out. Another lie about teachers is that teachers are out to get your student. Teachers have several students that just are difficult students. Just like you have coworkers who are difficult to work with. We have students who are difficult to work with. But we are not out to get them. My job is to make them better, decent, wonderful human beings who can cope in the world and be able to compute simple arithmetic and geometry and algebraic functions. But my goal is not to fail somebody. My goal is not to see how many F's I can give out. Yes, sometimes we have to intervene and we have to discipline your student, but that has nothing to do with wanting to get at them. A lot of times the students that we get on more are students that we see a lot of potential in, and we want them to be a better version. We see what they can be, and so we try to help them rise up to fill the potential that we see in them. We aren't out to get them. At least I'm not out to get them. Some people are. Not me. If you get anything from this, I'm not out to get your student, I promise. And the last thing that I want to close with is we definitely are human. We make mistakes just like everyone else. Our job is to be perfect. Our job is to make your children geniuses and wonderful, decent, successful human beings. Teaching is supposed to be a job, but it mingles in. The lines get so blurred when you're teaching. We feel everything that our students feel. We take all of their work home with us. We don't get the breaks. And because of all of that, we get worn down, we get tired, and we're only human. Please forgive us because we will make mistakes and we don't want to do it on purpose. Anyway, off my little soapbox. Those were a few things that I wanted to talk about today because I'm so excited for this new semester to start. I was really anxious. Now I'm just excited. I wanted to share with you some of the things that are myths that are kind of true, that aren't really true, that have some truth in them. Figure that one out. And just wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about teaching. So if you liked this video, please give me a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have anything else that you want to talk about as far as teaching, or you have any questions, please leave some comments down below in the comments section. And until next time, I will see you when I see you.